if you prescribe to the belief that Liverpool are a club on the up, pushing Manchester City every step of the way and making a second consecutive Champions League final under Jurgen Klopp, then what about the champions themselves for a second successive year under Pep Guardiola? Manchester City have 5 players, Craig, over the age of 30 in the first team squad. They've got to find solutions for them. Do they have to find anything else in the summer transfer market?
Well, they might not have to find it straight away, but they're certainly, it might not have to be this summer. But I do think clearly they will have to replenish some of these older players over the next, couple of years. They could get away with it this year, but particularly, it's a bit cloudy what's going to happen with Vincent Kompany at the moment. So we'll look at the older ones to start with. Obviously Vincent Kompany is a big issue. He doesn't play as much these days, but he has played in the important games recently, particularly the big game against Leicester with a goal. Kevin De Bruyne, that's a prime age. Kyle Walker, that's not too bad. David Silva is not, he's not playing as much as he was, but he is 33, so that's a player that's going to have to be looked at. Phil Foden, they're talking about, is somebody that could come in eventually and replace him. Sergio Aguero at 31 has still got time on his side, but we were just talking before. They've got Gabriel Jesus, maybe could do with another there to take the pressure off if they want to play some less games. Fernandinho is one of the big ones for me because I think over the last couple of years he has been arguably the best player in the Premier League. Now, he doesn't always get the credit for that because he's not banging it in left, right and centre, but he has done an amazing job. I know he's had injuries this season, but he's, I think, the key. When you think about Vincent Kompany, you think about Otamendi, who's not the youngest, but then you've got Laporte and you've got Stones and you've got some cover there. Although Gundogan has come in and done a good job for Fernandinho, no one in this City side, no one can do what he does over the course of a season. That's cover the fullbacks, cover the centre-halves, break up play, tactical fouls, call it what you want, get City on the front foot. He does everything. He could probably do that for another season, possibly. But then you've got to look to replace him. So I think he's definitely he's one of the key ones for me. Although Kompany's a captain, Fernandinho is one of the key components that they're going to have to replace eventually, because there's not many people out there. Maybe Fabinho at Liverpool is a kind of similar player. We're seeing better of him recently, but he still doesn't get around the field like how Fernandinho gets around. So they've got some thinking to do, but if you're Liverpool, don't think City are just going to sit there and go, no, we're fine, 2 titles in a row. Yeah, those boys will do another year. They're going to go and look for younger players and they're going to spend money. A
potential domestic treble still on the cards as well for City. The Champions League is the big enigma for them and for Pep Guardiola, who hasn't won it for 8 years now. And arguably the last 3 years, he's fallen short, more distant short than he did in his 4 semi-finals previously. But there were inches between between Raheem Sterling's winner and being ruled on or offside.
But it's still out, isn't it?
Do you think that they are significantly weak in terms of finding the balance that's going to win a Champions League?
No, and they were put out by two English sides in consecutive years, and 2 sides that they're better than. Right. They proved it over the case of 38 league games. They were better than Tottenham, and this season, or both seasons, they were just slightly, well, they were much better last year, they were just slightly better this year than Liverpool.
So you're talking about perfection, aren't you, really?
Yeah, well, it's knockout.
98 points
and
a Champions League.
With knockout games, as you know, you have a bad time, you have a bad game, and you're chasing it. They had a hell of a bad game at Anfield last year, went out. They had an average game at Tottenham this year, went out, because they were chasing it. So it's fine margins in the Champions League, there's no doubt about it. On the plus side to the older players, people will say, well, we didn't balance that out. Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling, not young, but mid-20s, 24 coming 25. Bernardo Silva, looks a bit older, Bernardo, but he's not, 24. Leroy Sané, another youngster. Zinchenko, can't remember what age Benjamin Mendy is, although he's, I don't think he's the apple of Guardiola's eye at the moment with injuries and social media. And I think I might be wrong, but I from the outside, I think he looks like he's quite keen on Leicester's Ben Chilwell. And certainly the way he came on the pitch, was talking to him, and I like Chelsea. He's very fast, young. So watch out for something like that. But City have got a good core of young players. They've got a decent core of what I call mid to peak time players, between 26 and 29. And then there are some that are over 30, as you said. So it will be something to look at. It's not like they're short of money. They want to win the Premier League next year again, because 3 times in a row would be amazing. I don't know if it's been done. Maybe it has. I can't remember.
Manchester United.
Probably Man United. My memory's not great. The owners will want the Champions League. The City fans, I think, want to rule domestically again. We don't know yet, but it will probably be a domestic treble this year when the cup final's all done and dusted in a few days' time. But he'll not want to go out the Champions League again next year because, although we think this is a great achievement, there are still some out there that will throw that mud at him and say, well, you got all this money and you could do it with Barcelona, but you couldn't do it at Bayern Munich and you couldn't do it at Man City. And I think, obviously, he'll want to get that off his back as well. So they're going to be as strong next year as they are this year.
Twice in his career he's looked for new challenges, Pep Guardiola, away from the club where he's had brilliant success, including 3 league titles in a row at both Barcelona and at Bayern Munich. What do you think his plans are? This is his 4th year coming up. He's got another further year beyond that on his contract. Do you think he's thinking about long-term legacy at City, or do you think he's looking to move to another challenge, maybe even another league?
No, I think he's probably looking to move to another challenge, but I think looking at it from the outside, to me, that's at least 2 seasons away. I think we could see, did you say his contract's up at the end of next year or thereabouts?
21, yeah.
Whatever. I think we could see, whatever, if his contract, he'll probably sign one or whatever, but I definitely see him being there next year and the following year. Depending on what happens, that then he possibly could be looking to go somewhere else and move on. But I think City would probably get another couple of years out of him. Maybe they'll get longer. I don't know, but I don't see any reason to start. People are talking about Juventus and bits and bobs. He's got a great platform where he is, and it's a squad that just needs a few little bits and pieces added to it. So I don't see Pep looking to, because they'll be favourites next year for the Champions League again and the Premier League. So I don't see him up and going somewhere else. But maybe down the line in 2 or 3 years, he might look to do that. But I think City fans can breathe a little bit easy at the moment.
Let's just throw this at you. You can have your pick of clubs this summer between Liverpool and Manchester City to manage. Which one do you want?
City. Because I think they're further ahead in their development. And, Liverpool... And if you look at the bench, and the bench has got better for Liverpool, but I think I've said to you, I've certainly said on the show, whenever a Man City team comes out, the first thing I do, I look at the bench and I think, well, how's he not in the team? How's he not in the team? Yesterday it was Mahrez, he got a game and people were going, oh, that was a bit of a surprise. And how's David Silva not in the team? And why is Sané not in the team? When I look at the Liverpool bench, I think, well, yeah, I know why he's not in the team. David Origi, although he's done well recently. I know why Shaqiri's not in the team, and I know why Sturridge is not in the team, because they need better players. And so I would take City as it stands at the moment, but I'm sure Liverpool are going to try and address that in the summer, is beef up that squad and make sure the players I've got on the bench, I'm thinking, why the hell is he not in that starting 11? Because he's good enough to be, and that's what City have. Right,
so 2 great clubs, 2 great projects. Manchester City aiming to wrap up a 10th major trophy in the 11 years under Abu Dhabi investment. We'll see if they do that in the cup final, of course, still to come, and that incredible domestic treble will be theirs.